guys, it's me. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a story that's going around social media so that you guys can be up on the latest. This is in regards from the Daily Mail in regards to a protester that was arrested. So this is stating an anti-ICE protester quivered with fear after being detained following a huge demonstration against the presence of the federal agents in Portland. The man allegedly dumped red paint over an ICE facility in the Oregon City during the protest on Tuesday, according to Fox News reporter Bill Melugin. The individual was seen trembling uncontrollably after being taken into custody on Wednesday night. Footage taken by Melugin and shared to his X account. It came after more than 100 rioters stormed the ICE Center on Tuesday, injuring several agents, according to the Department of Homeland Security. The facility was also left splattered with red paint after one demonstrator covered himself in the substance. Images taken that day shows an individual believed to be the man now in custody with red paint smeared all over his hands and face, sticking up the middle finger. 6 people were arrested on Tuesday, prompting further protests on Wednesday night, during which the individual was detained. Video shows him being apprehended by police while shouting, "Don't bleep, touch me, bleep, and who the bleep do you think you are?" So let's go ahead and watch the first video, which is from Savannah Hernandez. Go ahead and follow her on X. Last night, this guy was telling federal officers, "Don't effing touch me, bitch, I'll effing take you out." Tonight, he got arrested by those same officials and is currently inside of the Portland ICE facility shaking like a leaf. So that was that video. So let's go ahead and watch this other video, which is from a man arrested for dumping paint on ICE facility, seen visibly shaken. This is from Fox News. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
Stop for you. How many permits say? How many permit violations? 27?
National Guard troops prepping for Portland as far-left violence grips the city. Our own Bill Melugin is sharing video of federal agents making arrests outside of that ICE facility that has been a flashpoint for protests. Bill joins us live on the ground there in Portland with the latest. Hi, Bill.
Sandra, good afternoon to you. ICE Portland tells us that their federal building behind us here has been the scene of nightly protests going all the way back to June 1st. We are talking more than 100 nights straight. Now, last night's protest wasn't very big, maybe a couple dozen people out here or so, but we did get exclusive access to ICE and that.
It actually filed a lawsuit with the city because the police will not go down there to remove these protesters, or protesters as we call them. We all know they're rioters, but will not remove them or apprehend them in any form or fashion. So the city said basically deal with it, you know. So that sucks for the people that live there because they're the ones that begin bothered. There is a video that's also making its round on social media, as well as the person saying from Antifa saying, well, if they're not with us, then oh well, and you know, if they are, then they should come down here and protest with us. But if they're not, you know, then maybe they should just get some earplugs, you know, like they're fighting for whatever cause, you know, which is stupid because, you know, these people think that these people have the right to be here when they really don't. According to our government, entry in the U.S. is illegal and can fall under different codes, but the primary one for unauthorized entry is 8 U.S.C. 1325, improper entry by alien, which is a federal misdemeanor. A felony offense applies to those who re-enter the country after being deported under 8 U.S.C. 1326, re-entry after deportation. So these are actual crimes. So don't let people fool you and say, oh, it's not a crime. No, it is. That's why it's illegal. You know, we have laws for a reason. But let's go ahead and continue the video.
Building behind us as they made some arrests. Let's take a look at the video. This was last night. Typically what happens is about every hour or so, you're going to see federal agents in gas masks open up the gates of the property to either make a targeted arrest or clear the way for vehicles to come in and out as crowds of protesters and agitators are waiting for them outside, many of them yelling obscenities on bullhorns, some of them wearing black bloc with helmets or shields. Now, we did see agents make this targeted arrest of a protester last night. They said they had to be out on the lookout for after the feds say he was involved with dumping red paint on the federal property on Tuesday night. Take a look at this picture here. Federal agents showed us this photo of that same protester from Tuesday, which they say is the same guy covered in red paint and flipping up double middle fingers at the agents on the roof. Then this was him last night in the intake area, though. We witnessed him visibly shaking and appearing terrified.
It's funny, right? Because these people think it's a freaking game. They're LARPing. They think it's like live action roleplay. So in case you don't know what LARPing is. But that's what they think this is. They think it's a game. They think like, hey, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to cause damage, and nothing's going to happen to me. Why? Because the whole time during the time when the Democrats were, in power, these people got away with everything. Like, look at the George Floyd riots. Look at the Chaz Chop situation. Look at what happened to St. Luke's Church. These people would continue to go and do all these things in Portland and, in New York and in Chicago, and nothing. No handcuffs, no jail time. They just got thrown out, and it wasn't a big deal, right? But now that there's consequences to your actions, which always should have been, because, I was raised that you do something, you have to understand there's always repercussions to your actions. So these people don't understand that, that they're actually not playing a game. This is going to affect their entire life, especially because if you're putting your hands on a federal officer, that's a federal crime. That's a felony. You will now lose your right to own a gun. You will now lose your right to vote. Like, what is the point of this? Like, you're not making any changes because the people that they have in custody, they have a right to have them in custody. They have deportation notices. They've already had their due process. They are being told you need to go. And it is based on the information that I gave you. That, once that, you have these deportation orders, that's it. That was your chance. You went, you fought it, you lost, now you gotta go. And that's their own fault. And now these people want to boo and whine about, oh, I deserve to be here, I need my due process. You already had it, bro. Time's up. Gotta go. And now you have these Americans or these young people, and some of them are probably illegal. I don't know. But you have these people thinking like, I'm fighting for a just cause and blah, 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 because they play too much Call of Duty that they think like nothing's going to happen to them, especially because, this whole time nothing has. And now they're finding out. So they effed around and now they're finding out. And it's glorious to see, to be honest, because people need to learn there's consequences to your actions. So let's keep going.
As we watch federal agents process him after his arrest, he was pleading with agents saying he is just a social media influencer. Now, earlier in the evening, ICE did give us a tour of this embattled Portland federal building. They showed us their brain room where cameras watch everything happening outside. Also, their rooftop where sniper teams provide security. ICE's Portland director, Kamala Wamsley, told me she's extremely frustrated with Portland police, as she says the Portland mayor and city council largely block police from responding to any violence at ICE's building. Take a listen.
They're not really supposed to respond to this building. There have been folks that have been assaulted right down here on the street, even across the street, and it takes Portland police a while to respond, or sometimes they don't respond at all.
Is that frustrating?
It is frustrating. It's frustrating for us to watch people be attacked on the street.
Mind you, see, their own mayor and maybe their governor are tying these people's hands. They are not allowing the police to do their job. So they're like, we're not going to help ICE. Okay, but what about your citizens that are being harassed? The ones that are being brutalized? What about the people that are journalists there that are being threatened or even being beaten? You're not going to do anything about it, and this is the problem. This is why people think that they can get away with it. And a lot of these people are finding out differently because, they're attacking federal agents, which federal agents have the right to actually charge them with stuff. And now they're freaking out, which is why you see Antifa running like, roaches when the lights go on. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because it shouldn't be like this. There's a difference. If you want to go out there and protest, I have no problem with that. You're going out there with your little signs. You want to do whatever and say whatever. That's fine. But once you cross that line, I'm sorry, but you deserve what you get at this point.
And know that we don't have the authority to be able to really step in unless there's some nexus to federal law. That's frustrating for us.
And last night we did see multiple verbal scuffles almost get to the point of physical confrontations, all while the Portland police liaisons were standing just across the street watching everything, but deciding not to intervene. And that, in part, is why President Trump has said he is sending the National Guard here to Portland. He says the locals aren't doing their job when it comes to protecting this federal facility.
Right.
So he's going to send the military in. But as of this morning, as you can see, the National Guard not out here just yet. We'll send it back to you.
All right, we'll be watching for that. Bill Malugin in Portland, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
So you've seen that, you heard that. So, I mean, there's not really much to say. These people deserve what they get. They want to go out there and cause all this trouble. They want to cuss at these officers. They even want to threaten them. That's, like I told you in my last video, they've arrested people that were carrying guns, that were threatening these officers, that were wielding knives. They were also threatening journalists that were out there. And it's like, there's no reason to that. That's not protesting. That's actually a riot that you're doing. That you're actually doing more harm than good for your cause. But you guys let me know what you guys think. You know, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.